I need a better background.
Well, we are live, and you are right, Christina. You do need a better background. We need to get you one of these on the tee backgrounds from PFN, man. I know, man. Their graphics department hooked it up for us. So, do you have a birthday coming up? Is there anything coming up we can get you a nice?
I have a 25-year wedding anniversary in a couple of weeks. How about that?
Wow, 25 years. That is amazing. Well, anyway, welcome in. The band is back. Anita Marks from ESPN. Yep, that would be me down here. Thank you. John Mascari. There you go. Right there.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Head pro at, I have to say it, Alpine Country Club. For folks that are watching all over the country, just so you know, Alpine is one of the hottest golf courses here in the tri-state area. It's a stone's throw from the GW Bridge. Isn't it one of the highest taxed area codes, zip codes in the country? Right? Don't you cater to those, John Mascari?
They pay me well. They don't pay me that well, so I can't.
And of course, we've got Christina Thompson, CEO extraordinaire, designer, engineer. You know it. Of Golf for Her. I always say you want to look good when you get on the golf course, and in order to look good, you got to wear Christina's Golf for Her apparel, and when you look good, you obviously play extremely well. So Christina, welcome in. Guys, we're back. It's been a hot second. So this is really, really exciting. So we thank you, PFN, for giving us this platform and producing this for us. We're going to be back with you for the remainder of the three majors. Obviously, the second major kicks off on Thursday, the PGA Championship. And we will also take the ride with you through the FedEx Cup. I am a little under the weather. I am on the tail spin of COVID, which I tested positive for on Saturday. So you can't get it through StreamYard, jerk. Stop it. So I had a rough weekend, but I am on the incline now. I feel good, and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so as always, if you recall on the tee when we did this show a year ago, we always like to start the show with our show cocktail. I typically, and I shouldn't be drinking, this is just for show purposes, okay? I'm not drinking with all my COVID medicine, but I typically, it's also nice to do the show with like holding a drink, right? Like you're in the vibe, right? So I'm with a little pink bubbly because we're toasting the fact that we're back on the digital airwaves. And Christina always kicks off the show with her special drink that coincides with the tournament and where the tournament is being played. So, Christina, why did you pick a boozy Roy Roger?
So, to be honest, I was going to make the signature Jim Beam Black Ginger Highball that is being served at the PGA Championship for $19, but I didn't have ginger ale in the house, so I couldn't do it. But you know, it doesn't get much more Oklahoma than Roy Roger, he's the king of cowboys, right? But word on the street is that he didn't drink alcohol, but I know that will not work for this crew. Nope. So I turned it into a boozy Roy Roger. So it's basically Coke, grenadine, vodka, brandy, and maraschino cherries. Now I'm going to be honest, I haven't sipped it yet, so I'm not sure how it's going to taste.
Wait, I have to marinate in this for a minute, John.
Go ahead.
So she doesn't have ginger ale in her house, but she has the I can never pronounce them.
Maraschino
cherries in your house. Is that what I gather from this cocktail?
Listen, I've been doing the show for a long time. I have all of the essentials at this point. I can pretty much make any drink that you need me to make. I have maraschino cherries.
So that is our show cocktail that coincides with the fact that the PGA Championship is being played in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Roy Rogers, baby. And yeah, he is boozing it up for this show. Maybe this is the drink that you want to try is you're going to be watching the PGA Championship on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right, guys, let's dive into it. This is our first show this season. So let's take a look first and foremost in who's been playing well. And of course, that's with the FedEx Cup point standings. So let's take a look at these. At the top is Scottie Scheffler. No surprise there. Dude's won 4 of his last 7 starts, guys. 4 of his last 7. And I talk about this all the time. So just FYI, we have an ESPN radio, New York radio show called On the Tee. It's a Sunday morning golf show. You could tune into it on 98.7 ESPN in New York. You could also listen on the 98.7 ESPN app, as well as all the ESPN, if you have like the ESPN radio app that you could download. And we're always talking about Scottie Scheffler. People need to know the dude's not from Dallas. The dude is from New Jersey.
That's right. Let's go.
Yep.
Damn it.
Yep, it's the Jersey water.
I mean, like you hear the commentators. Oh, Dallas, Scottie Scheffler. No, he's from New Jersey. I think it was it Wayne? Where exactly in New Jersey?
Marina's from Wayne. He's
Bergen County.
Bergen County. And here's what the story is. The story is the clubs, and John, of course, if you want to come to the defense of the clubs in New Jersey would not allow children under the age of 12 to go to the practice range and start practicing before noon. And so the family was like, listen, we've got a golf prodigy on our hands. We need to make sure that we could get him to the golf course bright and early before the sun rises. So that was the big reason why they
and that's why they moved.
Yeah, that's the story, John. That's the story.
I know his mom,
I know is a club pro. I know you don't want to hear it, but that's the story. Packed up. It's like, the Beverly Hillbillies picked up all their stuff, went to Dallas so that they could get on a golf course bright and early for Scottie Scheffler.
Beverly Hillbillies.
and look at how it all turned out. So anyway, Scottie Scheffler, top of the FedEx Cup. You've got Sam Burns second. And a lot of these guys have won twice on tour already. Sam Burns, Cam Smith, Decky. Then you got Patrick Cantlay in at 5th, Max Homa, John Rahm, who just won in Mexico. Not to say much. It was a weak field. I'm just throwing that out there. Jordan Spieth won at Heritage, came in second last week. Dude's on fire. Tom Hoagie, Taylor Gooch. Surprised Hovland isn't on this list because Hovland has played well as well, but he's not in the top 10. And you could see the point differential. And obviously, as we know, they get a lot more points for winning majors. John, let's start with you. Any surprises here on this FedEx list that you can see that you're like, wow, I wasn't expecting this guy to have a good of a season as he has so far?
Yeah, we spoke about Victor Hovland, and you kind of buried it there a little bit, Anita. He's been hitting it fantastic, but for some reason he can't chip at all. Like around the green, I think he's 190th on the tour in chipping and putting. So that's really struggling for him. He's hitting it fantastic. Should be interesting to see him at Southern Hills, where you can be a little creative around the greens with how you hit your approaches, your chipping, your little bump and run shots, and maybe he could find it together. But I'm pretty surprised, for a 2-time winner on tour that his name is just kind of being brushed aside. He's not on that list.
Christina, anybody on there for you? Like, for example, for me, like, Taylor Gooch is playing well. I know we're going to give our picks in just a few minutes. He's definitely on my pick list to finish in the top 40. Got to like the season that Max Homa is having as well. Your thoughts on, I know it's a small sample size, but the season so far.
Yeah, but, one of the things I just love about the tour right now is that the game is really loaded with incredible talent. And I think it's still early. I do think that we're going to see a lot of new names. I think we're going to see that leaderboard change a lot. Now we have a major. We have a lot of golf to still be played. But, I think the tour is as strong as it's been. And it's not like, you've seen a lot of 2-time winners already this season. But these are names that you just haven't, you're going to see more of. So I think it's a really exciting time for the PGA Tour. I love the talent that's coming out. So not surprised by the names that are there now, but I'm also not surprised there's some names that aren't there that I think you will start seeing. So
was Zalatoris on that list, Anita?
No, he is not on that list.
And he's a perfect example.
He still hasn't won yet.
He's literally number one in stroke gains.
I know, but he missed that putt during what tournament was it? It was before or right after Phoenix. He missed that putt in regulation, and then it went into an overtime. Went into a playoff, and then he missed the putt in the playoff.
That's his Achilles heel. So he's
I know.
100. He's 169th in stroke gains punting.
I know. All
Number
right.
one stroke gains.
So here we are. This is Tuesday night. We're streaming here at 6:00. This show's going to have a shelf life all the way to Thursday morning, because Thursday morning is major number 2, and that's the PGA Championship. Again, Southern Hills Country Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's break it down. This is what is needed in a bag in order to perform well, right? Like grip it and rip it. Wide fairways. They've extended them from 25 to 27 yards to over 40. And this is really interesting. And John, I want you, I know you haven't, the three of us, none of us have played this course before, but John, obviously, I'm sure you've got your finger on the pulse because you're a PGA Tour professional better than anyone else. But how many courses have fairways that are Bermuda greens, but greens that are bent grass? How many courses do that?
Some courses do. It depends on the climate. It's really about where you are in the country. Some grasses hold up better to high heat than others. So having the bent grass greens, a smaller area, easier to maintain. They can roll them, get them real fast. And the Bermuda, for the majority of the golf course, is a little easier to maintain. But this is not going to be anything like the golf course we saw when Tiger won. There's been a ton of changes. Gil Hanse came in and ripped out a ton of trees. Like, this was a tree-lined golf course, and you can look in this picture right here. The trees just kind of dot the golf course, so should be interesting to see. It's going to play long. It's only a par 70. I mean, let's think about that as well. So you're going to have you're going to demand length off the tee. Both par 5s are over 630 yards.
Wow.
And the 3 par 3s are all over 200. So a long golf course. But you're going to have to make up your shots on the par 4s.
Weather conditions. You talk about, golf courses, again, Bermuda fairways, bent grass greens, weather conditions, really interesting and really beautiful this week, by the way. So it's going to be partly cloudy, 80 to 85 degrees on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, cold front coming in at this time of year. Okay. The high is going to be 65. Still, 10 to 15 degrees below what it will be playing Thursday and Friday. And then Sunday is supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. 70, 71, and just beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. What's really going to be interesting, and I've been following, the weather here in regards to the wind. It's Tulsa, Oklahoma. You expect wind in Oklahoma. On Friday afternoon into Saturday morning, that's when you're going to get the 15 to 20 mile per hour winds. So you want to keep an eye on the golfers who have the afternoon tee time on Friday and the morning tee time on Saturday. Okay, which would mean starting the tournament, the players that tee off Thursday morning then will tee off Friday afternoon and then again on Saturday morning. So those are the players that are going to experience the biggest challenge when it comes to the wind. And as we know, guys, right, there's guys out there who do perform a lot better in wind, like Keegan Bradley, for example, right? Like a master when it comes to wind play. Why are you making that stinky face, John?
For no reason whatsoever.
You just made a stinky face. When I say
make the stink face every time I hear Keegan Bradley's name. It's in my
okay, when I say
he makes that face.
When I say windy weather conditions, what comes to mind? Does Rory and Lowry?
Lowry.
No, well, Lowry.
Yes.
Irishman, wind player.
Right.
No, low Texas, Oklahoma, Ireland. Those are guys that are wind players.
Yeah.
Keep it low. Let us not get affected.
That's
Scotty
going to be
Scheffler, New Jersey, Texas guy.
We've had a lot of wind here in Jersey. Let's just put that out there. So
a hot air
windy
balloon
golf
around here
season.
too.
All right. So we're about to give you our picks in just a minute. But it's really important if you want to make your own picks and you want to do, let me just preface by saying I really enjoy preparing for ESPN when I talk about, the gambling show and we talk about, the picks that we're having and that we're all making. I really enjoy doing a deep dive because every golf course, their metrics are different. in regard to what you need to do well in order to score well on that golf course. So here are the 4 metrics I came up with that these golfers are going to need to be ranked high in order to score well. Number 1 is driving distance. Again, this is a lengthy golf course. John mentioned it, took down a lot of trees. They widened the fairways. These guys are going to be able, they're not going to be intimidated to grip it and rip it and just and just crush it. In fact, I came across an interesting stat. All the tournaments that have been played at Southern Hills Golf Course, whether it's majors, whether it's regular season tournaments, whether it's the Corn Ferry Tour, whatever competition has been played, golfers who rank in the top 8 in driving distance are all winners. There is not one winner that has won on Southern Hills Country Club Golf Course that ranks outside the top 8 in driving distance in the history of winners on this golf course. Marinate in that for a minute. Greens and regulation are going to be important. Scrambling is going to be really important. And putting on bent grass. And John, I want you to elaborate on this. One thing I was reading here is these greens, they look big, but they play small because they have a lot of runoff.
Right.
Talk about the difficulty in that.
Yeah, so when you have bent grass greens, you're relying a lot on the grain of the grass as well. It plays a big part into it. So the way the grass is flattened, does that make sense to you guys? Think about like your I know you don't do this, Anita, but when you vacuum and you get like all going one direction and then you got to go back against the grain. So it's faster when it's with the grain and slower against the grain. But now you've got these greens with undulation, and there's only certain areas where you could essentially hit the ball to have a legitimate putt at the hole. So it's almost like they're in quadrants. So they'll move the flags around to difficult situations, and there's going to be some putts where guys are going to have a tough time keeping it near the hole if they're having to come over a big break, or you'll see a lot of roll off on these greens as well on the sides, a lot of crowned greens. So it should be interesting. It's going to be a real good test of golf, that's for sure.
Do we know which players have the best scoring on bent grass? Because there are any players that have like excelled and like Cantlay.
Yes,
I thought I read somewhere like Cantlay and DeChambeau.
Yes,
are like
Cantlay is great on bent grass. Tony Finau is phenomenal. Your guy on bent grass. Well, all of our guy, right? We love Tony Finau. Tony Finau was our first PGA Tour pro who made a guest appearance on our program. So we all love Tony Finau. All right, guys, 2 big storylines heading into the tournament on Thursday. One is Phil is not returning to defend his title. There's a lot of drama there. I'm going to shelf that because when we do end our discussion of the PGA Championship, we're going to talk a little bit about the Saudi tour and what's going on. So we're going to shelf that for a second. But the fact that Tiger's in this, we saw Tiger play at the Masters. Tiger's in this. Look at this. Superbook, 80-1. Tiger Woods to win the PGA Championship. Now,
I love it.
I know you do. And Christina, I'm going to come to you in a second. But this is what we've heard. This is what we've heard from Tiger Woods. He's had time to strengthen his leg since the Masters. He's had 4 weeks to prep for this. He's been a gym rat. He feels like he needs to make his legs a lot stronger. There's going to be great weather conditions for him here. Keep in mind, there were not great weather conditions for him at Augusta. This is an easier walk for him than Augusta. Augusta, a lot of hills. It was tough. We saw he shot 278 on Saturday and Sunday. And everything that I'm hearing so far, and I'm sure you guys have as well, is that he's looked great in his practice rounds since he's been out there in Southern Hills to play. So, Christina, I know you're really big on Tiger. And if you can, Brian's producing the show, by the way, behind the glass. Brian, also, why don't you put up Tiger's scores at the Masters? And while he does that, Christina, tell us all the reasons why you like Tiger to win this tournament.
Okay, 1, he's Tiger Woods. That's number 1. But, listen, he's returning to a course that he won back in 2007. It is a different course. Southern Hills has changed, like John mentioned earlier. I was watching his press conference. He looks so comfortable. He looks so confident. His swing looks smooth. He's got a ton of power in his game. does Tiger have a chance? I mean, I want to believe that he does. Maybe not. But then again, this time last year, we were saying that about Phil, and look what happened. So, I mean, major role reversal between Tiger and Phil over 12 months. But, listen, Tiger, we all know, we say this all the time. Tiger shows up to play in a tournament. He's there because he knows he can win, or believes strongly that he can win. So he doesn't look like he's in pain. And he proved to us at the Masters that he's not going anywhere, and he's here. So if I was in the field, a lot of the attention obviously is going to be on him. I'm glad like the Masters came, he got all that attention, all the media went crazy. So I think I just think we're gonna get a really good show for him. And I actually, when we talk about our picks, I have him finishing, I think, top 20 this week. Maybe top 10. John, whatever.
John's making faces. John, why,
Keep rolling.
What are your thoughts on Tiger this week? Talk to us.
All right,
so this audio for the end of the championship.
We all love Tiger. It's a great story. The Masters. He's hurting. Okay, he said he's taking ice baths, and it's taking him longer to warm up, and it's like an Oldsmobile. Okay, it's still a good car, but it takes a while, and you don't really want to go on long trips with it. So he might be good like for the first 2 rounds, but come round 3 and 4, I could see him faltering. And I'm fading Tiger. I think he doesn't make the cut.
Wait, time out. Did you have him making the cut at the Masters?
I did, and I was the only one that said that because it's easier to make the cut at the Masters. It's a smaller field. Okay. Now he's going to make the cut at the British Open, but he's not going to make the cut here.
Whoa. A little wager going on right here between Johnny.
He's making the cut, baby.
Grandmother clock in the background.
It's yours. It's yours.
Yes.
I will deliver it to you.
You want the grandfather clock. I love it. All right. I don't listen. I got burned. I wagered that Tiger would not make the cut at the Masters. Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. I'm staying away from Tiger. I'm not playing him in any DFS. I'm not betting on him. Good, bad, indifferent. But I'll tell you what, I do pray to God that he's in contention on Sunday, because as we all know, the three of us, we've talked about it for years now. There's nothing like it. So we'll see. I reserve any prediction with Tiger, because I got royally burned at the Masters. All right, let's take a look. Superbook has their top 50 in regard to the odds, the top 50 players that they anticipate. The odds makers do at Superbook, who they think very well could win this damn thing. And so, you've got Scotty. It's a little small for me to see on my screen. I don't know if we can make it a little bit bigger, but they've got Scotty Scheffler up there. I want to say Scotty Scheffler is favored. Let's just talk about some of the guys that are coming in that are really hot, right? Scotty Scheffler, Rory, Cantlay, Spieth, Rahm, obviously, because he won in Mexico and obviously one of the best in the world. Justin Thomas, just to name a few. So you can take a look and see what those odds are right now. Here's the thing, guys. When it comes to, you always want to win with a long shot. But when it comes to the majors, for me, I think it's safe to stay within the 15-1. You don't want to go outside the 20-1 odds on a player out there winning the majors. Agree or disagree?
Fair.
Are we all in agreement there?
Yeah, I think when you talk about the majors, there's really only a certain group of players that really can win. Once in a while, you have an outlier, but most of the time, it falls in that group.
All right, so John, let's start with you. Give me this is what I'm looking for from all of us, right? Mm-hmm. I want a winner. I want somebody that you think is going to finish in the top 5, top 10, top 20, top 40. So, John, let's start with you. Who's your winner?
My winner is going to be Jordan Spieth. I think he's the hottest player on tour right now. He's coming into this with obviously the career Grand Slam on his mind. It's a course that he feels familiar with. He's a Texas boy, so it's not that far. And when you're hot, you're hot. And I think, you see it with him when when he's playing poorly, it's like it engulfs his whole game. You know, the shrunken shoulders. But now I feel like he is just ready to go. He's firing on all cylinders. He's gearing up for this, and I think he's going to have a great showing. And he's my pick to win. Top 5, I have Rory. I mean, I think another guy who's been playing well, kind of under the radar ever since that last round at Augusta. I think he's been playing fantastic. Going down a little bit lower, Billy Horschel as a good top 10 pick. He's top 30 in stroke gained off the tee, around the green, putting. Obviously, a fantastic iron player. It's always been his strength, so I think it's a good bet for him for a top 10. You mentioned before our boy Tony. I just feel like Tony is built for majors. Does that make sense? Like he's just big courses, big Tony hits it a long way.
He hits it a long way, but also another guy who putts really well on bent grass.
Yep. So I think he's got some of these majors in mind this year and really focusing on that. And then my top 40 pick is a guy who kind of got in at the end when Mickelson withdrew, and that's Charles Schwartzel, who you might remember won the Masters.
What is this, the Kentucky Derby?
Came in T10 this year.
What is this, the Kentucky Derby? You're picking the horse that gets in at the last minute?
Fool me once, right? Shame on me. But for top 40, right? Come on, it's a good flyer. It's a good story. Solo 8th recently at the Byron. So there you go. Go win some money, everybody.
I love it. All right, Christina, you're up. What you got?
So I know I'm going to Rory.
Oh
I mean, I have a bunch of picks in here.
Christina,
I know. What?
Way to narrow it down.
Were you the teacher's pet? Were you given a homework assignment and then you came back and you just crushed everybody in
listen, this was I did my best. All right here.
Okay. You did more than.
Is there anyone
than best
on this list?
I mean, geez.
So,
this is only a 45-minute show.
Christina, I know my name is not on that list.
It was. I took you off. I put you. I faded you. I think my pick. I'm sticking with Rory. I kind of been talking about him all season. I think he's a 4-time major winner. He's won this championship twice. He's got a recent top 5 at the Wells Fargo. I think his game, is really well. I think everything in all the little categories are all clicking for him. So, I just think if Rory can get off to a hot start, like come out of the gate, fire up the leaderboard and start off strong, I think he can do this. I think he's when he's won his past championships, he's done that. He's had solid, hot starts. If he struggles, he's going to have a hard time coming from behind. So, but I think if everything, all the cylinders click, I think we're going to see Rory get another championship. As far as like top 5s, I mean, I like Sam Burns. Lowry, obviously, I mean, I just kind of think he's been playing very well. Love the wind. I think he's a great player in the wind. Cam Smith, I know we haven't talked about him that much today, but I think he's another one who's really due. As far as top 10s, I'm going with Spieth. Not breaking the top 5. I don't think he's gonna get his slam with this win. I feel bad saying that. I really would like to see him pull this off. I do. I know it's going to be, but it's his 6th attempt at this event, and the closest he's come is a tied for 3rd. But he's driving the ball great. I know that. He just needs the rest of his game to get in line. And listen, hey, if we don't have a defending champ in the field, it'd be great to say that we have someone who can get the Grand Slam.
Jump to Hovland at 20, because we really haven't spent a lot of time talking about him. John mentioned that he was surprised he wasn't listed in the top 10 in the FedEx Cup point standings as of right now. What do you see in Hovland to finish in the top 20?
I just think he's sneaky good, and I just think that he's one of those players who's, he's got his irons, he's got his driving is pretty rock solid, and he shows that he can win. I just kind of put him in top 20. I just know he's going to perform really well. If you watch his game and in the tournaments he's won, he could just grind. He just moves himself, into really good position for a win. So it'll just be depending on how he plays on the bent grass.
I like your DJ pick as well at 20. We've already heard why you like Tiger. Top 40, I do like your Max Homa pick there.
Yeah, thank you, Anita. That means a lot to me.
Right up to the host. Oh my god.
And I know I'm putting Finau down, top 40. I just don't know if Finau's like angry enough to win. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think Finau's such a great guy, and everything is so good and soft around him. He's a stellar player.
What are
and
you
he's
saying,
awesome.
Christina? Good guys don't win?
I
Is
don't
that what
know.
you're saying? You're saying good guys don't win?
We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
All right. All right, it's my turn for my picks. Sorry, Christina, I didn't put together like War and Peace like you just did. But here we go. Anita's picks. All right, I'm going with Scotty Scheffler. I am. And 12-1. I know people are like, Anita, you're going chalk. Okay, so what I am. He's the hottest golfer right now. He's won 4 of the last 7 times that he started. This course sets up really nicely for him. He's not the longest off the tee, but he can get it out there. He hits it long. Accuracy won't be a problem because of the wider fairways. He ranks 3rd in greens in regulation. He's a tremendous putter. And this is what I love about it. He came out and he said Southern Hills is his favorite golf course in the world, not just in the United States. He said it's his favorite golf course in the world. I'm all in. I'm all in with Scotty, the New Jersey native. Also, I like top 5. I like Cantlay. His game has improved each and every week. He ranks top 20 in strokes gained off the tee, approach, around the greens. And again, we've been talking about how he's great on bent grass. Top 10, I do like Spieth to finish. He missed the cut at the Masters, and he said that it was his biggest disappointment. He said it was his biggest embarrassment. He went back to the drawing board. He came back. The first tournament he played after the Masters, Heritage, he won. Last week, he came in second. He's coming in hot. So, and I'm all over it. I'm all over Spieth. I definitely think he finishes in the top 10. I think nobody's talking about Decky, and I don't know why, to finish in the top 20. His irons. Get this, John. Marinate in this. He gained 9 shots on approach at the Byron Nelson, all 4 days in the field, tied for 3rd at the Byron Nelson. He's already won on tour this year. He knows what it takes to win a major. I just don't think enough people are talking about Decky. And Gooch is my sneaky good top 40 play. Here's why. Hometown kid, born and raised in Oklahoma, went to Oklahoma State, still resides in Tulsa, knows this course better than most, is having a great season. That's right. Ching, ching, baby. Ching, ching. Give me some more of those, Johnny boy. He's sporting 4 top 10 so far this season, finished 15th at the Masters. And oh, by the way, he does have a win this season. I think Gooch on a home course in his backyard to finish in the top 40, I think that's stealing candy from a baby. I love that pick. Last but not least, let's take a look at this is my base DFS. You guys know me. I play at least, 100 DFS lineups. But here's one of the base lineups. Don't laugh at me, John.
No, that's actually true. I think you are like around 100.
Yeah, I do. You know what I'm addicted to right now? I shouldn't use the word addicted when it comes to gambling, but I do love in regards to DFS. I love to do the drafts. So you get to draft against 5 people, 10 people, 20 people. You can do a $1 draft. You could do a $5 draft entry, $20. And so typically on Wednesday night, I'm up till 3:30 in the morning. I'm watching, Ozark, and I'm doing my drafts. Anyway, here we go. DFS lineup. Scheffler. We talked about Lowry. Wind conditions are supposed to be bad Friday afternoon and into Saturday. So Lowry, and as well as putting on bent grass. We haven't talked a lot about Young either. Cameron Young, rookie Young, coming in, crushes it a mile, is not scared to play with the big boys. Keegan Bradley, of course, John's favorite dude. Gooch, I just talked about him, and John talked about Horschel not too long ago. Get this, you could get Horschel on DFS for $7,400. That's crazy to me. That's really good value. He should be at like 82, 85, in my opinion, by the way. So this is my base DFS lineup heading into the tournament. Guys, let's take a look at the tee times because there's some really great groups so Thursday morning, you want to be tuning in at 8:38 a.m. Look at this. Look at these groups that are going out right after one another off of hole 10. Okay. Decky, Shoffley, Tony, Hatton, Bryson DeChambeau. Can't wait to see what Bryson DeChambeau is going to do with those 600-yard par fives. Homa, Hovland, Willie, Cam. And this is the threesome at 9:11 a.m. You need to be by a device, something. Spieth, Rory, and Tiger. Guys,
I like it.
Is there, let's comment on that for a minute before we leave this graphic up, please, Brian. I do want to take a look at the 1 o'clock, the whole 1 tee times. But guys, let's talk. Could you have asked for a better threesome on Thursday morning than Spieth, Rory, and Tiger? John?
Yeah, funny how it works out that way. Good for TV, right? So put those guys together. The PGA is not dumb. They know what they're doing. And this is a great way to kick off the tournament. Everyone's going to want to be watching that group. It's going to be awesome TV. I can't wait.
Right? Yeah. Great threesome there.
Christina, if there was a guy that you could remove and another guy that you could put in, who would it be? For me, I would take Rory out and I'd put in Scotty Scheffler.
Nah. No, I like Rory in there. I like Rory. I think the personalities, I think it's a good balance too. And I just think that's going to be a nice way to start off the tournament. I think that they'll push each other for sure.
I thought you would have said Brooks Koepka, Christina.
No, I'm done with Brooks. I'm over.
You are. Wow.
Yeah,
she broke up with Brooksy.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. By the way, again, another reminder that that group that from 8:38 to 9:11, all those star-studded players that you're going to want to watch on Thursday morning, that's the group that's going to have to tee off on Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. Those are the golfers that are going to experience the worst wind conditions. Now, listen, I know I'm being a drama queen here. It's not going to be 30-mile-per-hour winds. That's not what we're talking about.
They can handle it.
But we are talking anywhere between 12 to 15 gusts up to 20. But, again, it's you get the tee time you get. But those are the guys that are going to experience the most wind. Let's look at what's going on. Hole 1. Now you get done watching hole 10 in the morning. You know what? Have your boozy Roy
Roger.
There you go. Have your boozy Roy Roger on a Thursday. We're all working from home. It's okay. And then go back to your TV set or your device and look at what's going on in hole 1. At 2 o'clock, Lowry. There's your guy, Brooks Koepka. Oh, I'm sorry. You broke up. Adam Scott. Then you got DJ, Cantlay, Justin Thomas. That's a good one.
We haven't spoken about Justin Thomas. I mean, no, none of us picked him.
I know. Let's stop right there.
Yeah.
All right. Why is that? I mean, he's coming in. His game is hot. He looked good last week at the Byron Nelson. He's got Bones on his bag. Bones knows this. Bones probably knows this track better than top 5 caddy on anyone's bag. Why haven't we talked about JT? You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm just surprised we haven't talked to him. I mean, he's a major champ, but my big question is, does he have the grit to win major championships? And I'm not sure about that. So,
John?
Yes, of course he does.
I don't know. He hasn't. He's got 14
He's
wins.
dominant tee to green. He hits it a long way. He's got really good irons. He's got a strong wedge game. He could win. There's a lot of guys that can win. You can't pick everyone, right, Christina?
I could try.
So, yeah, listen, he's certainly someone you could look at.
Yeah.
We just have to say we think there's other people that might win more than him. But
watch Justin Thomas go out and win this. Watch Justin Thomas go out and win this damn thing, and people are going to say, Anita Marks, John Mascari, Christina Thompson. They didn't even talk about Justin Thomas till 38 minutes in to that show of theirs on the tee.
These crazy people.
And then we're going to look like idiots. Brian, thank you. You can take that graphic off. I want to share one more trend that I came across, guys. This is really cool. And I'm curious if you guys came across this as well. So there have been 7 tour champion. I'm sorry. There's been 7 majors that have been, I'm not drinking, I swear. There have been 7, stop it, John. There have been 7 majors that have been played at Southern Hills. All right. From the PGA and of course the US Open and 2 tour championships. Okay. Now, in these majors, the winner has been at the top of the leaderboard after 36 holes. The winner, marinate in that. In every one of these 7 majors, the winner has been at the top of the leaderboard after 36 holes. Okay? 5, now it gets better. 5 of the 7 winners have tied or led after 18. 5 of John, this is some really good stuff.
It's a different golf course.
That's not what I'm saying. Granted, yes, it's a different golf course, but we both know there are some golfers who start hot.
Yes.
Here are the guys. Here are the dudes that start hot. Each and every time they're at a tournament, they're finishing after round 1. They're either at the top of the leaderboard, top 5, top 10, or top 20. These are the guys who start hot. Justin Rose, Brooks Koepka, Schauffele, Scotty, Henley, Lowry, DJ, Rory, and Aaron Weiss. These are
Rory.
These are the guys that typically turn Thursday, every Thursday they're playing in a tournament. These are the guys who start hot. There's no like revving up the engines. There's no getting used to the course. They come out, guns a-blazing, boom, they're in the top 20, let alone top 5, top of the leaderboard more times than not. I'm going to repeat those guys again. Rose, Brooks, Schauffele, Scheffler, Henley, Lowry, DJ, Rory, Wise. Just keep an eye on those guys. And the fact, again, 5 of the 7 dudes who've won majors on Southern Hills, okay, has tied or have been in the lead after the first round. I'm just something to keep an eye on, a trend to keep an eye on.
All right. I like a trend.
Okay.
Scotty won this. Didn't Scotty win the Big 12 men's championship there back in like 2015?
Yes, he did.
Right? He did even with the score even. So curious to see what the scores are going to be.
Ding, ding,
Guys,
ding.
so that concludes our PGA Championship preview, but there's some other news out there that I do want to touch on. First and foremost, what's going on with the Saudi League. Now, as we know, there's no Phil Mickelson who's going to defend his title. Rory came out this week. Tiger came out this week and said they're disappointed that he's not out there. They feel bad. He should be out there. This should be a time that he should be celebrating the fact that he won the PGA Championship at 50. But a big reason why he is withdrawn is because comments he's made and all that's going on between this LIV Saudi League and the PGA Tour. John, I want to go to you on this because the reports this week are that there was almost over 100 players that requested the opportunity to play in this LIV, the Saudi League that kicks off in London in June, and every request was denied. And there's some talk and speculation that if a player does cross that line, like a Phil, like a Sergio Garcia, that they will not be allowed. They'll be banned from the tour moving forward. What can you share with us? What do you know? How do you think that this is going to escalate? What do you think is going to happen here?
I've kind of gone back and forth with this. I like the fact that there's competition. And I think competition for golf tournaments and the way things are run is good. I always look back to the XFL and the NFL and how the NFL took a little bit of stuff from the XFL back in the day. But now looking at how the PGA Tour is reacting to not letting players go there or denying these requests, I feel like they're nervous. I feel like they're nervous that they'll lose them. I feel like they're kind of protecting themselves. And they're saying, it's pick me or pick someone else, but you can't have us both. And there's going to be guys who are going to pick this Saudi tour because it's easier money. It's a watered down field. And frankly, they have to make money and they can compete better there maybe than somewhere else. And you can't fault them for that. You can't fault someone who's looking to make a living an easier way to make money to put food on the table.
And just to be clear, I mean, guys are being paid just to play. They don't have to go and pay their own way, travel, pay their caddy, all that.
Right.
And then
And
you have to perform to get paid. They're getting paid just to come and play.
It's like they're being paid entertainment. I mean, the format is different, much different than the PGA, right? There's only 7 tournaments that are being played.
There's 7 right now, but apparently they got another $2 billion investment this week. So now they're saying like the 7 tournaments now, there'll be 14 or 15 next year. And then 2023 or 2024, they're expecting over 20.
Right.
That's what they're thinking. So
I mean, I don't know soccer very well, but aren't there a bunch of different soccer leagues like England and the Premier League and this league and Liga and all that stuff? So, and I know players kind of bounce around from them from time to time.
Yeah, but clubs have to buy, like, so.
So isn't that what they're doing for golfers? They're buying these golfers.
Yeah, but clubs have to buy the player from the club that he plays in the other league. You're borrowing the player. You're paying that club for that player. Anyway, I know we only have about a minute left, and I want to get some LPGA information and update in the show as well. So Christina, please share with us quickly, if you don't mind, what's going on with the LPGA this week.
Yeah, just real quick. We just had a tournament here at Upper Montclair Country Club. Minjee Lee from Australia. Yay, our backyard. That was awesome. Minjee Lee won the Cognizant Founders Cup by 2 strokes over Lexi Thompson for her 7th career title. Now, there is not a LPGA tournament this week, but the ladies are heading to Vegas next week for the Bank of Hope match play that is being held at Shadow Creek. But then the week after that is the U.S. Open. Their tour is returning to Pine Needles in North Carolina. Back in 2007, we saw a 12-year-old Lexi Thompson play in that event, which feels like yesterday, and crazy that she's now evolved into like one of the stars on the LPGA Tour. So all eyes will be on her. She's hoping to redeem herself after last year's debacle. If those of you who watched it remembered, she blew a 5-stroke lead heading into the back 9. She missed a bunch of fairways. She just made a disaster and ended up leaving her 1 shot out of a playoff that was ultimately won in 3 holes by Yuka Sasso. So that's what we have going on. A lot of good golf ahead of us for the LPGA. But yeah, that's where we are. But I love that on Superbook has like the odds for the U.S. Open. Like I cannot wait to go on there and start playing around with that.
It is. It's great.
87
cool.
bets.
It's
hey.
Guys, thank you so much. He is John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club. Christina Thompson, CEO extraordinaire of Golf for Her. Make sure you check out her website. Golf season just began for us down here, or up here, I should say, in the Northeast, in New York and New Jersey. But you know, I know a lot of folks watching all over the country. Check out her website. As I always like to say, in order to play well, you need to look good. We want to thank PFN, Pro Football Network, for hosting and producing this show. We're going to be back with you previewing the British Open, or AKA the Open, as we get closer to that. We'll recap what happens here this week. We'll preview the Open, so stay tuned for us. We'll be back then. And also, we want to thank Superbook as well. We gave you a lot of picks, a lot of plays. So make sure you head over to that, as I like to call, #RunDon'tWalk, to that Superbook window and get all your plays in before, of course, they tee off on Thursday. If you missed any portion of the show, please, it will have a live shelf all the way through, not just when they tee up on Thursday, but throughout the week. If you want to, you know, we did a great job. At least I think so. I think we did a great job breaking down the tournament and a lot of the players that we're going to be keeping an eye on. So please, if you missed any portion of the program, by all means, please go back and watch it. We really appreciate it. Guys, great job. I miss you. I'm so thrilled that we're back in action, talking all things golf on the tee. Good luck this week.
Cheers.